Okay, good morning. Saturday the 19th of April, 8:04 UK time. This is BTCUSDT. Just currently having a look at what's been happening over the last few days. I haven't been on the charts for 2 days because I've had other stuff to do. But here we are, back on the charts. Let's have a look. So this is the 4-hour chart. And what we're looking at here and have been looking at over the last few days, if I just hit it back to the day chart for a minute, is on the day chart we have this falling wedge, which usually has a 68-70% chance of breaking to the upside, and the measured move would be the opening of this falling wedge. Take that measurement and place it at the breakout point. So let's just say it broke out here, around about 70% into the wedge. We'll be looking at a measured move at around this, and just notice how it happens to line up exactly with a support resistance area. So of course, if it was to be this move breaking out, looking for some kind of retest to be confirmed, and then taking profits at least from 50% of the way up, you should be taking some kind of profits. By 70% of the measured move, you should be taking, I believe, all of your profits, because this is where others definitely start taking money, and you don't want things to be pulled back. Anyway, so now going back into our chart analysis, let's go back to the 4-hour for a moment and get a little bit more detail. So we had inside that, we had this pattern, rise and wedge, broke out, moved to the downside, but not so much. I say 50% of the measured move. Let's take that measured move, place it at the breakout point. As you can see, not quite 50%, maybe 30% of the measured move, it came down. Then it went back up and retested at the top of the falling wedge trend line. It's just hung around this area in between 82,000 and 85,000 since the 13th. So it's been 6 days just consolidating in this area. And if you notice, if we just open up and look at some of the details as to what could be happening here, we've had a fake out where the wick pulled above the trend line and then back into the pattern, back down. We've had another touch, close touch here, another close touch here, and we're having another one here. So you can say that if you are hoping to trade within this area, being the falling wedge area, this would be a good time to be looking at a short, to be buying in around this place and making money as it comes down. Now, if it decides to break above this line, a strong breakout, you could be buying on the breakout. You could set a buy-in around this area. But then what happens if it's like a larger fake out? You'll just be, your buy-in will be triggered and you'll just be pulled down, and hopefully you've set some kind of stop loss. But if it does break strongly above this line and retests, you'll be looking to buy in on that retest with a move to the upside. Now, at the moment, it doesn't really seem, there's not much telling, to be honest. If we go to, let's have a look at some of the details. What we can see here actually is a possible head and shoulders, which I mentioned in my other video. That's the higher peak of that, the higher peak of that, and this area. If it doesn't come above this higher head area, we could call this a head and shoulders, and the move would be to the downside with a measured move from the head of the shoulders to the bodies, and then take that and place it down. Once again, happens to be sat on another support and resistance line around 81. So that could be your move, with your buying point happening once it's broken below the line of the head and shoulders. So you could say, okay, I'm setting a buy-in at this point and making the money as I go down, and setting my stop loss around here if you was trading this possible head and shoulders pattern. It hasn't formed the shoulder completely, so it's not confirmed head and shoulders. We do have a bounce on this support line. Support line here, well, 84,000. So really a true head and shoulders would have came and broken down below this line, but it has bounced up here. Who knows what this is going to be? It could just be a pull down. So let's just wait and see. But that's another idea you could be looking at on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. Where is it going next as a whole? Like I said, if I go back to the day chart for a moment, we are quite early into this falling wedge pattern. You know, if we are looking at this pattern, usually the breakout would be at least around 60%. If it broke out here at, what is it, possibly 40% into this pattern, it is possible, but a bit unusual. I am expecting, not with certainty, but expecting prices to come back down somewhat, at least to 78. So that's all for my analysis for Bitcoin, and I hope to see you in the next video. Let's wait and see what happens. Have a great Easter weekend.